Okay. This is Nigel.
Nigel's ass.
Rearranging the forward cabin that we've pulled apart.
Here we are in deconstruction mode again. Finally we're out of the engine room and we're into the accommodation block. So what we're doing up here is we're turning the forward cabin into our new master. And to start with, we have built a mock-up of the bed base. And we've done that because of the way that it fits in and around the flare of the hull as it gets closer to the bow, to try and assess how we're going to have to make the custom mattress. So this is just the mock-up at this stage. It sits centrally, and we have cupboards, a couple of drawers underneath, and the bed itself will be on a base which will rise. It'll be hinged at the bow with a couple of gas lifts, and that will give us access to storage space in this compartment in here. We will be taking these bunks out. The previous configuration was that there were cupboards just underneath, and you can see the hull line right here. That's the fiberglass hull. It was odd spaces and odd shapes and not a huge amount of storage, and there was only 2 bunks. So there was this one on the port side and similarly on the other side. And it's a little bit hard to see, but we've started to take out the sort of speakers, and you can see this false wall comes onto the hull here, but it's very wasteful in volume, which was typical of these sorts of boats, which were the first of the really big boats. They had a sense of size that they hadn't had before, and so a lot of that volume was wasted. So to make a little bit more room in here, we are going to take this bulkhead back by about 200 millimetres, so it comes back to sort of roughly here, and is limited by the position of the hatch that's in the ensuite. That bathroom in this compartment will become the ensuite to this cabin. And if you can see this line here, from here, the bulkhead will come to here, about 200 odd millimetres in, and then it will come across at about 45 degrees, and the door to the ensuite will be in there. This will all come out, and there will be steps to allow us to actually get up onto the side here and to access the bed from the side. Again, that's going to be an interesting little exercise because we've got the whole wall here. We'll have a shelf on here, which will essentially make up a bedside table, and we'll have drawers in those shelves, probably small-ish drawers in those tables, and we'll have overhead lockers up above the porthole. The portholes are actually set in a reasonable amount on the hull, and we're going to increase the size of this to an elliptical one about double that size, to allow more light and visibility into the master, and we're going to sit it on the whole wall, so it will be angled a little bit further out. It's not quite as pronounced on the bow because of the flare, but more so in the cabin down on the other side at the ensuite. You can see the construction here. We've got the deck and the battens that support it, so that'll all be kept, but we'll replace this vinyl with it's a Perspex type clears, squares, and that'll all sort of happen as we go through, but we'll do the construction phase first. And on the other side will be a mirror image. There's another bathroom there that will service the other 2 cabins, and we'll do that. We'll take this bulkhead back the same amount, angle it on the edge of the hatch in the bathroom, and then our doorway to our cabin will come back to. There's a mark on the wall here, so you can see the where it's coming back to about here. So this doorway moves back by about 200 mil as well, and just gives us a little bit more room into the master. we'll have plenty of storage in here and still be able to access the forward bilges are accessed through these hatches in here, and we'll keep the companionway central down the boat, and that's where the holding tanks and grey water tanks are. So that will all be maintained. The floors through the companionway will be floorboards, and we'll have carpet in the cabins, and that will go up and over the side of the hulls. It's typically how they do it. Trim will be, or the wood finish will be a choice at the moment of American cherry, or Fijian mahogany, or macaw, with little bits of trim of black walnut or Iroko. So we're working on samples of that at the moment, and all of these sort of industrial, sort of destroyer style sort of fittings, you know, these industrial lights will all go, and we'll have the more traditional downlights, which will be LED, warmer colours and much less power consumption. And in here we'll have our TV, audio visual will be all mounted in here as well, and we'll also have a monitor, one of the navigation system monitors, so that when we're at anchor we can set an anchor drag alarm that we can hear. So if we are anchored rather than on a mooring, we'll hear an alarm, and we can get up and reset the anchor. So that's essentially where we've got to at the moment. We're currently working on the moving the bulkhead. That's the first thing we need to do, and so we're currently doing a template in the ensuite for that at the moment. So we'll go through there in the next video, and we'll have a bit of a look at what's happening in there.
Good.
You, I.